Hi there. Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's episode of Isn't She Amazing? I'm Lorna McGill, and this is Mary Ann. And today we'd like to talk about why we do things that push us to our boundaries.
And why we have to do
We
that.
have to. Why we must
That's
do
right.
that? Like, why
That's
must
right.
we push ourselves? So I'm just going to start with a story that I've had. So one of the things that I am like terrified of is deep water. I can swim, but I do not like to get into deep water. So one of the things that I've done is I go snorkeling. And that is, I always say, like, the worst part is when you're like getting ready to jump off the boat. And I think, this is it. There's no way I can do this. My heart is pounding. And I jump in and I'm okay. I haven't drowned yet.
And don't you do that on all your vacations with your boys?
Yep. Yeah, we do.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But then when you're in the water, you're like, this is beautiful. If I didn't take the chance and jump in, I would never experience this.
But you also did something recently to overcome that fear
I
even a
did.
little
So I've
more.
done that before. And so recently I was like, I just need to get comfortable. And you and I have a very good friend, and she, Amelia, and
She's amazing.
she is amazing. Yeah, no one could doubt that they would say that Amelia is not amazing. And so she had actually posted something on Facebook that she was going to take these swim lessons. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I think I'd like to do that. So we went on a Sunday morning and we took these lessons, and I had missed the first lesson, so she had already gone. And she was jourling because we were on the deep end, and the guy's like, we got to jump in and swim to the end and swim back. And I'm thinking, that
No.
is a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. And Amelia must have seen the look on my face, because she says, you can have the lane that you can like touch the wall. Because I'm thinking, if
Oh,
I got to jump in,
well,
what
that's
am I going
great.
to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I jumped in and I did it, and I came back, and I was like, I can't believe. I mean, the thing is, like I said, I could swim. It was like the depth of the water is just what
It's so
terrified.
scary because
Mhm.
I had a friend once also who was she almost drowned as a young child. I think when she was like 6 or 7, and she always had a fear of the water. And her husband wanted her to get certified as a deep sea diver. You know, so she actually did what you did, and she went. I think it was to the local Y or something like
Yeah, I went
that,
to the wharf. Yeah.
and took in their deep section, they did classes um, in deep sea diving, and she did get her certification. And they also did that kind of stuff on all the vacations they went on. They went to these exotic places all over, and she actually got over her fear by taking lessons as well. So that's a huge reason. So not only just for your own, aren't you amazing? I mean, look at the opportunities you gave your sons, and my friend Clara gave her sons by enabling herself to feel the fear and do it anyway.
And I
Not by
used to always, when my kids were younger, they're all like big swimmers. I have one of them is like he's a cliff jumper. He jumps off of cliffs.
let's talk
um,
about another fear, right?
yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. But I was always very proud that I did not like relay
Stop
that
it.
fear to them.
Yeah,
When we
that's
would go to the
huge.
pool, I was like, oh geez, if something happens and I've got to jump off that diving board, I'm not
I'm
really sure if I can do it.
I'm watching you.
But
I'm
there's a
watching.
lifeguard here. There's a lifeguard. I can run to the lifeguard, but I never did. I mean, they're big, all three are really comfortable in the water. So I think,
And you helped each other. I mean, Amelia helped you, and that's such an important thing. Because one time, now
oh yeah. I mean,
I don't
I'm
go
not
deep
convinced
sea
that I would have
diving.
gone every Sunday had it not been.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't normally go deep sea diving. I went on like a vacation dive one time. I think they take you maybe 40 feet and you're certified for like 2 weeks. But I remember
That sounds
thinking as I'm
terrible.
jumping off the boat with lead weights around my waist, because the point is to go down, thinking this is a really stupid
Yeah.
idea, you know, and yet, and so I got pretty nervous that first day we did, with just the waves kind of lapping in your face, like, and so the woman who was teaching this came over and just grabbed my hand and she said, just stick with me. And she took me under with her. And it was, once she took my hand, it was better. And then the next day we went out, there was a doctor that was on our dive and he was terrified. And I was able to say to him, hey, just hold on to my hand and go on. It's just one time somebody gives you the just breathe, calm down, you're not alone type
You're not
thing.
I think that's what it is. Like, you're not alone. I'm gonna be here with you. And that is really, that was just like with Amelia. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't alone, and someone else was just as afraid as I was to do it,
And
but
she
we were
got
both
you. She
right.
understood you.
Right. She understood, and I understood her. Like, we knew what it felt like to jump into that pool. And
Yeah.
I think we all do that. Like, every one of us has to jump into whatever that pool is. You're scared and you think, I don't know what the outcome is, or I don't know where I'm going to land,
Yeah.
but you always end
Absolutely.
up okay. I mean, you end up, it's just that initial jump and you grow. I mean, I would come home every Sunday morning and I was like, I did it. I actually did. I'm amazing.
There you go.
Amazing. Because I was like, I didn't think I could, but I could.
And what's perfect about what you just said is that's exactly the feeling we want every single woman in our audience to feel about herself. It's just to have that experience that goes, oh, I'm amazing.
And
And
it could be as simple as like, I've like made like this awesome dish.
right.
I'm amazing. Like, this is amazing. I love it. It's not fancy. It just is delicious. And I'm bringing joy to myself and to someone else.
Yeah. When you didn't think you could do something, somebody supported you and you did it. And even if somebody doesn't support you, have the wherewithal to support yourself in making
Right.
that dish, right? And because that's huge. And what we want for this Isn't She Amazing community is that every single woman in our audience knows the experience of feeling, I am amazing.
I lost you.
Did you lose me? Okay. Well, we want everybody to feel like I'm amazing.
Breath. And you just want to just throw your arms up in the air and say, this is like, I can do it.
And this is a safe
Because I think,
place for them to be able to do that. I
I mean, I'd
wonder,
love to hear what people in our audience have, like, what have they done that's like amazing? Like, what can
I was
they, like,
just
what is their
thinking,
bragging
I was just
bragging right? Because
thinking the
this is
same
somewhat of
thing.
a bragging right.
Mhm.
I did this.
So put in the comments below something that you in the audience have overcome that you want to share with the community. And because there's a ton of things like this
Oh,
that
it's
that we've had to overcome, as amazing as we are.
we think we
And and so I would love to see
telling
that too.
ourselves we are.
I would love to see that too. What other things women have
Yeah.
overcome, and when they thought, now I'm amazing. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, so would I. I think it would
So
be just, I mean, and I just think how inspirational that will be for us all to hear that. Like, what do
yeah.
other people, what do they overcome that I'm afraid of still even trying?
So today, while they're watching this video, as soon as we're done, I want every single person watching to think of one thing that she's afraid to do, or one thing she's never done, one thing you've never done. or
that's
you
great.
just or you just can't seem to bring yourself to do. And then start to take responsibility for, well, how do you plan that? Do you have to take swimming lessons? What one thing can you do today? Can you call the Y and make a
Find
get
out
yourself
find out when they're scheduled to have
exactly.
lessons.
Just do one thing. Baby steps. I know Lorna talks about that all the time. Just
I do.
baby steps.
It's one little step at a time, and before you know it, as you know, as we always talk, you've like finished a marathon. So
That's
this is a
right.
marathon.
That's right. We'll do the marathon stories at another podcast. How's that?
Right. Perfect.
Anything else we need to know, Lorna, before we
No, I
tune
just
out
think it
today?
is. I mean, I think you summed it up. Baby steps. It's that one step at a time, and we just are excited to see where you're going to end up.
Yeah. So I'm Mary Ann,
I'm Lorna.
and we thank you for joining our Isn't She Amazing podcast.